Welcome, welcome! It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And as you can see here, we are testing out different weapons loadouts. I went to Arena Commander and I brought in a Super Hornet. The Super Hornet has grade A components everywhere. So shields, coolers, power plant, etc. Now I will say in the fixed laser cannons, I went with a different power plant than I had on the fixed laser repeaters and the Autogimbal Laser Repeaters. I kind of learned a lesson with the fixed laser cannons. So that could have skewed this contest a little bit, but I'm going to tell you it probably didn't skew it that much because the fixed laser cannons, well, you'll see. I also did a ballistic cannon fixed loadout that I thought I recorded, but only got the final scorecard up. I will tell you that it was the worst of the 4. I'm sorry, it was the worst of the 5 because I also tried scatter guns. Don't use scatter guns ever. Like really, ever. They're that bad. So just avoid scatter guns completely. They're trash. So with that said, right now we have 3 on screen here. We'll get back to the fixed ballistic loadout as well. This is not a perfect test by any means. This is me trying to get through Vandal Swarm as quick as I possibly can. Not even trying to do evasive maneuvers very often. A couple times I may try to fly away and then reline up on the enemy just so I can get some range to do some really good damage with some of the longer range weapons. But largely it's just me going headlong into combat and seeing how quickly I can bring down enemy targets, even if that means I end up going down myself. I will tell you this, 2 missile strikes from the Vandal ships on the Super Hornet will bring it down, even with Class A shields. So you have to be very careful and make sure your shields are up in between missile strikes or you're toast. And they will spam the missiles later on in the later waves. That's just part of Vandal Swarm now, and it looks like countermeasures just aren't working anymore. They worked great earlier in 3.10. Now they're not working so great. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe they had to nerf them for some reason or another. They're just garbage at the moment. It's almost not even worth using. I would say I would probably dodge 1 out of every 7 or 8 missiles maybe. Something along those lines. Not a very good percentage, especially, I did kind of try to strafe out of the way of certain missile launches and stuff, but I got to where I just got tired of trying that because it just wasn't working. So, that said, let's get into the nuts and bolts here. On my Autogimbal Laser Repeater loadout, I have 2 Badgers on the wingtips, 2 Badgers on the top turret, and 2 Bulldogs on the chin of the Super Hornet. So 6 laser repeaters altogether, 2 size 1s and 4 size 2s. They are auto-gimbaled, which means it'll automatically track the targets within the dotted circle there at the top. Fairly easy to do. The closer to the target your reticle is, the more strikes you'll actually hit on the enemy. It's a pretty effective loadout. And this is the loadout that a lot of people have been using for the last couple of major patches in Star Citizen. Again, auto gimbals is the thing, it's the meta, because fixed has been broken all the way up until now. At least from, I guess, early 3s all the way up to 3.10 now. They have gone a great way to fix 3.10's fixed weapons. Wow, that's a lot of fixed. So yeah, they have made it better, and it is pretty effective now. I actually enjoy using the fixed weapons more than the auto gimbals. Which one is better? Well, you're going to have to wait to see. Now, on my fixed laser cannons, this is the typical loadout of the Super Hornet Heartseeker. This has 3 M6A laser cannons and 1 M7A laser cannon. So that's 3 size 3s and 1 size 4. They have a massive drain on your power supply. So make sure you have a good power generator in your vehicle, which means a JS300 or whatever it's called. Don't get the other grade A one, the quick cell, or I can't even remember what it's called, but yeah, don't get that one. It's not going to do the job. I will tell you that straight up. So yeah, do the JS300. It'll probably do a better job. Honestly, I didn't test it, but I did use it on the other ships or on the other loadouts, and it worked fantastically. So yeah, definitely something to keep in mind if you're going to do the fixed laser cannon route. They hit very hard, and as a couple of people pointed out in my previous video when I did this similar loadout, or at least I did the fixed laser repeater loadout, I had Autogimbal on for the Top Gun. So I made sure to I tried to make sure that that wasn't a situation for either one of those ships and the loadouts for these tests. Now, on occasion, it would automatically switch to that. Also, I tried to lock all my weapons to one single firing mechanism or one firing solution group. And every once in a while, it would knock that off. And anytime I died, like I just did there, it would also take that off. You can see me on the lower right corner there in the fixed laser repeaters trying to put all my weapons back onto one firing group. Highly annoying. Hopefully they fix this, especially in Arena Commander, because you don't want to have to go back and keep fixing your weapons groups. At least I don't. It's, like I said, it's really annoying. It's very frustrating, and by the time you get it fixed up, you're getting shot again. So how well do these repeaters do? The fixed laser repeaters, what I have for that is quite simple. I have 3 Panther repeaters, which are size 3s, and then 1 size 4 Rhino repeater on top. That is one of my favorite loadouts, and to be honest, that was the one I had the best feeling using out of all the loadouts that I tried in Arena Commander, was the fixed laser repeaters. I couldn't tell you why. I mean, it felt, I guess because there's a lot more flying to it. You have to actually fly and make sure you're on target, whereas auto gimbals, you didn't have to do that as much. You could literally be anywhere in that big circle and start firing and you were good. Plus, the amount of damage that the bigger laser repeaters did compared to the Autogimbal Laser Repeaters felt significant. Again, you'll have to wait to see what the final results are of this. Unfortunately, it doesn't really show me how many deaths I had, but I can tell you the deaths are pretty close between the laser repeaters, Autogimbal, or fixed, and I had more deaths with the laser cannons. Again, there was a power supply issue on the big laser cannons, but there was also a lot more of the disengaging of the group fire. So on occasion, I would find myself firing maybe 3 size 3s and not the size 4. And that could have had an impact on a lot of the damage that I was doing. Then again, I seem to have missed more shots with the laser cannons than I did with the repeaters. You know, maybe that's just because you're firing a lot less, and if you miss one, it feels like you're missing a lot more. Whereas the laser repeaters, those things are firing so fast that if you miss 1 or 2 shots, it doesn't feel like it's that big of a deal because the next few shots are hitting. As far as ballistics, I used 3 broadswords and the combine cannon. So that's 3 size 3 ballistics and 1 size 4s. And it was okay, but I will tell you now that it would have, out of these 3 here, if you compare to these 3, it finished 4th. So it would have been last as far as the time to kill or time to beat Vandal Swarm compared to the others. You know, and there are other fixed ballistics that you can use. There's also the miniguns that you could use, which would be kind of like repeaters. I just didn't go that route because you know how long it takes to go through all these different iterations of Vandal Swarm. I just didn't have time to go through all that. Maybe in a future video I can look into that a little bit more. I threw in the scatter guns just for fun, and I gave up after the fourth wave of Vandal Swarm because it was atrocious. My wingmen were getting more kills than me, and they're AI NPCs, and they're awful. So yeah, the scatter guns, not the way to go at all. So avoid those at all cost right now. Hopefully those get better buffed. Maybe really the biggest problem is how much they scatter. So my guess is scatter guns are going to be supremely effective against big ships. Other than that, you're not going to want to use them against the smaller ones. It's just not going to be effective. It's not going to be fun. So each one of these I have died, I believe, once or twice, maybe more. As you can see, the fixed laser cannons are only on wave 7, whereas my fixed laser repeaters are on wave 8, where I just died, and the Autogimbal Laser Repeaters are on wave 9, where I died once again. So there's definitely a difference in how quickly you can get the kills for each one of these. And this is pretty much how it's going to go the rest of the video. You're going to see the Autogimbal Laser Repeaters actually come out on top of the bigger, stronger hitting laser cannons and laser repeaters fixed. So what does that mean? Well, it means autogimbals are still viable. They are still king. They could still be the meta, but I will tell you that I liked fixed laser repeaters more. I enjoyed it more. I felt like I was flying my ship more. I felt like I was maneuvering more to get the better shots, and it just felt better to me. Maybe if I had a second go round, it would be closer. Maybe auto gimbals would pull away. I don't know. I only did this once. It deserves more testing. At least these two. Even the fixed laser cannons probably use more testing, as I was getting super fast kills in the first few waves, and then I started falling behind later on in the matchups. But I will tell you that the fixed laser repeaters were definitely my favorite way to go. Auto gimbals were pretty snazzy. They did a really good job. Obviously, they were able to get all the enemies down quick. This was actually one of my later runs, so you could also say that I had plenty of practice going into the Auto Gimbal Laser Repeater run. Maybe that played into it. I don't know. Again, this is not a perfect test platform, but it was fairly effective in my opinion on testing out which ones I like personally more and which ones I thought were more effective. Again, I think auto gimbals were more effective based off of the time to kill, and the fixed laser repeaters were more enjoyable. So if you guys have any opinions on that yourselves, if you've tried out both of these combinations in game or in Vandal Swarm, let me know in the comments down below what you think about either one of those, and yeah, we can maybe get a dialogue going about it. So now we're down to just fixed laser cannons and fixed laser repeaters. The laser cannons just got into wave 9, I believe. Yep, and the laser repeaters are trying to finish up. So the auto gimbal laser repeaters were able to finish it in 12:44. Not so much for the fixed laser repeaters. It took almost another 45 seconds. They finished about 13:20-ish that match, which leaves the fixed laser cannons to go on for the rest of this video. They're obviously going to lag behind quite a ways. So guys, if you like this video, please make sure you hit that like button. If you've never subscribed to my channel before, I do all sorts of different Starses and videos. Hopefully you guys will get something out of them and you'll like them. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and that little bell icon to let you know when I do more of these. I want to give a shout out to all my Patreons, all my YouTube members for helping me and supporting this channel. You guys are so awesome. If you haven't decided to pull the trigger on doing that, it's only $1 to get in on the YouTube memberships. It's a little more on Patreon. You can actually choose which membership you want to get in. If you want to support the channel more and you feel comfortable doing that, that's fantastic. But I do appreciate everybody that decides to give and donate. It means a lot to me, and to be honest, you've actually helped me pay my mortgage and everything else the last couple of months, because my everyday full-time job has not cut it. It's not getting me enough money right now to pay all my bills. So the money that you guys have been giving me has helped me pay my bills, and I certainly do appreciate it. I don't know what I would do without you guys these last couple of months. So if anybody's really interested in supporting the channel, that's the best way to do it right now, is through those subscription programs, and I would certainly appreciate each and every dime. So thank you. Also, guys, if you're interested in joining an org, I am part of the Texas Space Navy, or Texas, and that information will be in the description down below, along with all the other information, you know, that could be pertinent. I also like to support some of my org mates. Dexite's got his own YouTube channel, and he streams on Twitch quite often. Definitely go check him out. He does a lot of Star Citizen, but he also does a lot of other games as well. And then the Horton Hustle, she also does a lot of Twitch streaming as well. Her channel is always a lot of fun to watch. Make sure you check those guys out. Go and, you know, at least follow them on Twitch, and maybe even subscribe. Follow them, subscribe to them on YouTube. Well, at least on Dex. I don't think Horton has a YouTube. And then also Gaston and Bros has a YouTube as well, so check his out. He does a lot of funny videos, Star Citizen, Warzone, some other games and stuff too. So once again, guys, I really do appreciate all the support you've given me. You guys are awesome, and thank you so much. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you guys out in the verse.